So, Book of Boba Fett had a 4th episode, and pretty much it's the best of the batch. But that's very similar in which I'm praising an episode of Chibnall's Doctor Who. If you caught any of those, it's not saying much. It's just the cubic zirconia in the rough. So there's elements in this one that, and I'm sure it's, I think I've heard this elsewhere, that not only is it the best of the episodes so far, it's that it dealt with things that should have been in the first episode. They answer what happened between Boba and Fennec Shand, Ming Na's character, when he found her in the desert, after her interaction with Mandalorian, all that stuff. And so he saves her and brings her. Well, now this is the worst part of it. Not just the act that he's helping her and saving her life and everything, but he hauls her over back to into town and goes to the cyborg kids, and oh god, so bad. They look like a CW version of a cyberpunk show. They're just really cheap and stupid looking, and the idiot music they played during. I mean, the music's been pretty bad in Boba Fett overall. I mean, it's so far removed from the John Williams, style and everything, which is what you should be trying your best to mimic for this world. You can explore trying to sound alien and stuff here and there, but this isn't trying. This is this lazy crap. Your basic, club mix or whatever. It's terrible. And it pushes you out of the story because it's so bad. But so that's the source of her cybernetic parts. Basically, I guess her lower intestine is replaced with mechanical parts, and that's about it. Because I don't think they replaced any limbs or anything, which could explain some extra strength, because she later on takes on these giant alien thugs and just tosses them around like they're nothing. Might need to explain that, but don't expect it anytime soon. So the main push of it all, he's laying in the tank, of course, dreaming all of this. The Sand People story's over because they're all wiped out. Didn't give him any motivation, didn't explain it. They just sort of lazily slap it in this episode. So they're talking with each other, and he wants to get his ship back, and it's parked over at Jabba's place, so they're going to have to go in there and steal it, which is what they do. And of course, like I said, when Boba takes over, he's got nobody there. He doesn't have. He needs his own thug army and henchmen to enforce his rule and also protect him and all that. And there's nobody. He's got the 2 green pigs, a couple of droids, Shand or Fennec or whatever, and the cyber kids. So he's got nothing. Anyway, so that's the main deal, them stealing the ship, and that's fine. That's not bad. That's pretty good. There's a lot of silliness thrown in. What are you gonna do? And but the 2 of them, mostly Shand does all the hard work. And Boba gets into the ship, and they manage to break out, and there they go. And then he decides to settle some scores, which is about the only time you really see something of the old Boba Fett, because he just wipes out the motorcycle gang with this. Well, yeah, they do canonize the new title of Slave One. It is no longer Slave One, and apparently never was. It is Fire Spray. Which sounds like a venereal disease, but nevertheless, that's the name. That's the name. So, and he sprays fire on the motorcycle gang, wiping them all out. So there you go. And I guess like Jabba's palace doesn't have much in the form of manpower or guards, because they killed just about all of them in the stealing of the ship, or getting it back or whatever. Then he goes back to the Sarlacc pit, and they revisit that because he suspects his armor is there. Of course, we know, and I guess because he was so out of it, he doesn't remember being stripped by the Jawas. And so that ends up being sold to, what's his name that you saw in Mandalorian and all that. And so eventually Boba gets his armor back through that story. So we're pretty much caught up as to what he was up to. So I'm guessing, for all intents and purposes, that's it for the flashbacks. And then, the episodes are going to deal with the Pikes, I guess. I don't know. He does his Godfather stuff where he's trying to unite the gangs under his rule. But don't worry, I don't need any tribute from you, but we're going to share in the, okay. Whatever, because he's nice guy Boba, So, and that's how the setup. Now, the motivation that they sort of allude to here is that I guess this happened to him while he's in the Sarlacc pit, where he's like, why do I keep working for stupid thugs and villains when I'm smarter than they are? And so that's it. That's what he's thinking. He talks about the Sand People to Ming-Na, and tells her that the Sand People saved me and made me a part of their tribe, and I got them killed. I need to be more responsible than that. They saved him. I mean, they captured him and enslaved him. He tried to escape. They beat him for it. And then later on, he just became the pet of one of their kids. And then he ended up saving the kid's life. So that garnered him some respect, yes, amongst them. But it would have been so simple to develop a story as to why he develops a relationship with the kid or one of the other Sand People, whatever you wanted to do. But you didn't really do that, And in fact, that moment where he leaves to go beat up those, the Hells Angels, I call them, in the second episode, he would have left. He would have left. He would have, would have been looking for ways to get his ship back and that sort of thing. But he would not have gone back to the Sand People. That's just, there's nothing there to tell you that that's who this character is. But here, lazily with some dialogue, they just say that, after getting his ass handed to him by Luke Skywalker, he thought, there's got to be a better way to make a living. So that's it. That's the motivation of Boba Fett. The rest of it is stupid, lazy crap that's not really going anywhere. Plot holes abound everywhere. I suppose they'll just slap it in there that the Hutt twins are actually working on to pick off whoever the victor is, or something along those lines. But they're doing it all very clumsily. And then so Bubba's going to go up against the Pikes and the mayor and all that. And we'll see how that ends. And apparently at some point, I guess, the CGI Han Solo will show up. And, oh my God! And that'll end the series. Whether it gets a second season or not, I'm pretty dubious at this point, because this was bad. Oh man, those terrible cyber kids. And that's one of those things. How's that slipped through? How cheap and pathetic it looks. When you saw some of the guards and whatnot in the battle for the ship and Jabba's palace and all that, that's kind of what this gang should look like. Mostly aliens, different aliens, and make them all pretty dirty and desperate, because they were stealing water, and don't give them these flashy bikes. You give them the shitty bikes that look like crap. That's barely keeping them together. And you can have a human or two, but they're going to be pretty rough looking, And so he, that makes up his gang or what have you. And some of them need to be pretty fierce looking. There's none of that. The only high part here is what I thought was predictable, especially since the Hutt just tossed him away was the Black Wookiee. Damn it, I'm forgetting how to pronounce the name. But anyway, so surprise, Boba hires him to be it. Now he really does have some muscle. He's got a pretty fierce bodyguard. Probably should have worked that out a lot sooner. But nevertheless, there you go. So, we're going to see Chewbacca and this guy go against each other. Maybe, I don't know, I doubt it. Or they'll just snarl at each other, and that's it. But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it's the best of the series so far, but it's, way too little and too late, because they really dropped the ball primarily on Boba's motivation. If everything else hadn't been so stupid and silly, sure, it would be better for the series overall, but that's a pretty big stumble not to give him a proper, credible motivation for why he is the way he is for this iteration or version of him. So, what are you going to do? That's too bad. So, we'll see. I mean, there's theories abound that Gina Carano screwed everything up, and that either she was going to be in the series, or there was certainly going to be some connection to her series, and now they don't have that, so they drop all of that. It does look like there's a gaping hole in the story, like something's missing and it doesn't work. And what is this? So maybe there's something to that. I just don't know. I guess that would explain it, but otherwise it's just I guess they didn't care enough about this one. I don't know. Oh well, there you go. Book of Boba Fett, Episode 4. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.